Good afternoon, children. Standard 8, subject history, and the lesson number is changing life 1. Yes, children. Now we are going to come today to the ending part of this chapter. So let us see. We are going to study today, that is the rural development. Okay. So before that, we have studied about it too many of the points, like we have seen in our previous lectures about the immunizations, urbanization, rural area, and the post-independence period. See, children, how the life is getting changed. Okay, now let us move on to the further point, that is the rural development. Yes, children, now I am going to read it. Every one of you all just pay attention over here. In rural development, in the year 1961, that is 82% of the Indian population resided in the villages. In 1971, the percentage was 80.01%. So far, responsibilities of providing the food grains and other raw materials to the urban area, supplying the laborers to the industrial sectors of the city, and taking care of the natural resources. There are the three major challenges with the reference to the rural development, namely bringing about the economic development, developing the facilities to meet the social needs, and finally bring about a change of attitude in the matters concerning the society. Culture and the ways of thinking, it is equally necessary to expedite the irrigation projects and bring about the land reforms. Okay, children. Now it's all about the how the rural development. Okay, children. So here, that is what it is said over here in this paragraph, that is 82% of the Indian population is living where? In the villages, in the village. Okay, so in the village, there was in the year 1969, which was declined to 80.1% in the year 1971. Okay, children. And then there were some of the major challenges to the rural development. The major challenges, like bringing about the economic development. Then the second one is like developing the basic amenities, and the third one is like changing the attitude of the people regarding the society, agricultures, and thinking. And then the next one is, it is necessary to expedite the irrigation projects and implement it on the land reforms. Okay, this is what it has said it in the rural development. Okay, now moving on to the next one point, that is said as the social needs and the facilities. What is social needs and facility? Here, it is necessary to give the priorities to the facilities for the public hygiene and the health care. Even today, the rural population faces the problems related to your round provisions of drinking the water, toilets, open drainage, narrow roads, inadequate electrifications, and lack of facilities for the medical treatment. There is a lack of good qualities educational facilities from primary level to the higher education, centers for recreations, and libraries. That is why it is necessary to give the special attention to the rural areas. The collective development schemes had an important place in all the first 4 5 year plans of the governments of the India. The state of Maharashtra registered remarkable achievements under these schemes. For example, Zilla Parishads were established in 1962. Nutritious Diet Scheme was launched in 1970 to 1971. The state scheme. Okay, children. So, what it is said over here, that social needs and the facilities. What is said over here about the social needs and facilities? Let us see. I am going to explain it to you all. Now, every one of you all just pay attention over here. Here it is said that in social needs and facility, that the priority. Now, whose priority? With the priority needs to be given for the public hygiene. Okay, children. For the rural people, like public hygiene, whatever is their priority, the priority which is given to the public hygienes, like health care, then provisions of drinking the water, electrifications, educations, and facilities for the medical treatment. So what happens? These are their basic priorities. So children, after that there are the several programs, like which is going to be launched for the rural development by the governments of the Maharashtra. So which are the programs? That is, for example, establishment of the Panchayat Raj, which was done in the year 1962. Then the nutritious diet program, which was in the year 1970 to 1971. Then the rural water supply scheme. These are the three programs which were launched for the rural development. Okay, children, this is what they have said it over here. Okay, now our next one point, that is the rural electrification. What is rural electrification? So every one of you all just pay attention. Electricity is essential for the developments of the rural area. Automatic pumps are needed to water the fields. Electricity is needed to preserve the perishable food items such as milk, eggs, fruits and vegetables to run fertilizer projects, and for fans and TV and for lights for studying at the night. During the first 5-year plan, electricity had been provided to the 3,000 villages in India. By 1973, it reached the villages. From 1966, it was decided to bore wells. Rural Electrification Corporation was established in 1969. Rural electrification cooperative societies came into being in the states of the Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Karnataka, Maharashtra and the Uttar Pradesh. Okay, children, it's all about in this point we have seen in the reading, it's all about the rural electrification. Okay, what is rural electrification? Here, rural electrification is one of the essential for the rural development. Okay, so as it is the essential in the rural area, there is electricity, and electricity is needed for the automatic pumps, like preserve the perishable commodities for fertilizers projects, etc. Okay, and then there are the 3,000 villages. These 3,000 villages were provided electricities in the 5-year plan. Okay, in the first 5-year plan, and then after that their number has increased to in the year 1973. Okay, so this rural electrification is the corporation and which was established in the year 1969. So thereafter rural electrification cooperative societies were established in the Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Gujarat and the Uttar Pradesh. Okay, children, now let us proceed on to the next one, to the last point of it today, that is the industrial developments. Okay, now what is the industrial development? Let us see over here. In industrial development, a village industries planning the committees was formed to help the developments of the industry in the rural areas by 1972, and the person got employment under this scheme. The governments of Maharashtra has also started the residential high schools known as the Vidya Niketan in Satara, Aurangabad, Nasik and the Chikhaldara. This purpose is to provide the best quality educations into intelligence and the meritorious village students living in the unfavorable conditions. As per the recommendations of the Kothari Commission, agriculture universities were also started at Rahuri, Akola, Parbhani and Dapoli in Maharashtra. In recognitions of the work done in the field of education, UNESCO awarded its international prizes for the spread of literacies in Maharashtra in 1972. So in this way, overcoming the obstacles at the beginning of the post-independence period, India began to develop and make the progress. In the next chapter, we shall learn more about the developments in the other fields. Okay, children? Now let me explain you what is the industrial development. Okay, children? So here in industrial development, we have read about the village industries. Now here, the village industry is what? It's one of the planning committee, and in this committee it was formed to encourage the rural industrializations. Okay, so the person got employments under this scheme in the year, that is in 1972. And then there is the name of the person, that is the Vidya Niketan. This Vidya Niketan is one of the residential school which was started by the governments of Maharashtra at Satara, Aurangabad, Nasik and the Chikkhaldara. And then as per the recommendations of the Kothari Commission, these agriculture universities were established at Rauri, Akola, Parbhanis and the Dapoli in the Maharashtra. So the UNESCO, they had awarded the international prize to the Maharashtra in the year 1972 for the spread of literacy. Okay, children, and now in the last we have studied this chapter. In the last it is saying that in this way, which is going to overcome the obstacles for the beginning of the post-independence period, like India, which has begun to develop and make the progress. In the next chapter, we shall learn more about the developments in the other field. Okay, children, I hope every one of you all must have understand what the teacher has explained to you in this chapter. Okay, now in the last I would like to give you the significant events of this chapter. What was the event and the year of it, I would like to explain it to you. Okay, so from the starting, in the year 1962, there was the establishment of the Panchayati Raj in Maharashtra. Then in the same year 1962, there was first successful open heart surgery in India. In the year, that is in the date of 14/6, that is 1964, there was establishment of Department of the Social Welfare. In the year 1966, there was a plan to provide the electricity to operate the pumps and the borewell. In the year 1968, there was developments of Jaipur food techniques. 1969, establishment of the Rural Electrification Corporation. 1970, there was a launch of nutrition food scheme in Maharashtra. 1971, first successful transplant of kidney in India. 1972, UNESCO awarded for the spread of literacy in Maharashtra. 1978, there was one. First one is the cancellation of the third class in the Indian Railway. Second one is the first experiments of the first test tube baby. And in the year 1995, plus polio immunization movement was launched. Okay, children, this is what I have explained you, the year and the events which were occurred in that time. Okay, I hope every one of you all must have understood it. Thank you.